Well, for this week's edition of Foodie Friday, we're checking out a spot that will make you feel like you're in Nona's kitchen. At this time, we visit Simpatico, Italy's finest in St. Michael's.
It was originally built between 1896 and 1901, and it was an oyster saloon.
A lot has changed since Bobby Parlett bought and restored this historic building in St. Michael's in 2001, transforming it into an eatery to accompany her next-door specialty store.
It gives us so much pleasure to bring that happiness to people because it takes us back to, our happy times in Italy.
Today, Chef Dawn McLaughlin mans the kitchen, transporting Simpatico, Italy's finest customers with her talents. We start with a fava bean hummus served with shrimp and an olive raisin orange salad.
Just the fava bean hummus has such a beautiful, kind of delicate depth to it.
There's so much brightness going on.
There's more where that freshness came from, like this arugula salad, spruced up with Grana Padano, Parmesan, and Asiago cheeses, as well as mushrooms and bresaola.
I would compare it sort of to a prosciutto. It's like a dried meat. It's a little bit salty. It's got a nice chew to it. And then the mushrooms are just earthy and savory.
But this risotto is worth running home to tell your Nona about.
You just start with some shallots.
Add garlic and white wine.
Let that reduce a little bit.
Now comes patience. It's probably the most important ingredient as Chef Dawn gradually adds in chicken stock.
You want that creaminess, and you're not going to get that if you add it all at once.
It's also important to keep stirring. True to any home-cooked Italian meal, this one comes with a taste test while the pot is still simmering. Final touches, asparagus, and fresh chopped parsley.
Bobby's always my final tester. Salty enough? Cheesy enough?
Yeah, I'd definitely say so.
Perfectly creamy, cheesy. The texture is right. It's like a perfect al dente. You can just smell all of those ingredients that have been used in here.
My dad would love this because of the asparagus, just the crunch and the nice bright green flavor. Nice fresh veg for a very hearty, comforting fall dish.
These handmade meatballs, meanwhile, are fork tender, just like their place in my heart.
These meatballs are so spot on to what my family would be having at home, and I think that's the sign of someone who knows how to make a really good home-cooked Italian meal. That's a beautiful red sauce as well. The tomato is so fresh and just vibrant. The perfect little touch of acidity.
And you can't get any more traditional than this. The recipe for this olive oil cake is 800 years old, and it has a twist of orange and is topped with a chocolate hazelnut spread.
American baking culture has tried to come up with all of these solutions to the dry cake. When the Italians had this figured out hundreds of years ago, everyone starts to look like a friend after food this good.
I got to tell you, that looked really good, especially those meatballs. Seriously. Again, that was Simpatico, Italy's finest in St. Michael's. And if you go, be sure to tell them that you saw them on Foodie Friday. And if you have any suggestions for Hannah or Mike, send it to us at newsroom@WMDT.com.